To groups and individuals totaling some $700,000. And one of the groups benefiting from that funding is the Perishable Theater in Providence. And while that drama company may be small, it has a lot to offer, including our own Paul Buxton. And Tim Kelly is on the scene to fill us in. Tim?
Hi, Pam. That's right. Like Paul Buxton, a man of many talents, the Perishable Theater is an organization of many events, one of which is called the Uncommon Lunch. Many others we'll take a look at in a minute. But first, the Uncommon Lunch. During today's performance, there was a healthy dose of comedy served up. Let's take a look at that.
Michael Bressler made today's lunch uncommon. His one-man show is part history, part spoof. He calls it Dr. Lambert's Old-Time Medicine Show, a vaudeville act about the vaudeville acts that used to accompany a sales pitch from the old snake oil dealers who traveled the American countryside.
The heart, the lungs, the spleen, the kidneys, the liver and onions, and in some cases the brain.
The audience indulges in donated desserts and self-supplied brown bag lunches during the half-hour show.
What do you think of the quality of the performances here during lunch?
So far, they've been great.
Uncommon Lunch has been part of Perishable Theater for a year now. Today is the beginning of a spring series that runs through May 23rd. 30 to 40 spectators show up on a good day for what they feel is a fine way to relax during lunch.
This is great. It's a great set. It's a great place to come at lunch. It's Providence does have culture at lunch. They do.
Okay, we're back. Joining me now is Mark Lerman, Artistic Director here at the Perishable Theater. Mark, earlier I said Paul Buxton, a man of many talents. Well, this theater, organization of many events. Could you name off some of the other events?
Yeah, in addition to the Uncommon Lunch, we have Common Ground, for which we're about to see a scene from. We have our touring shows for young audiences, which has been in existence for 8 years. And we have the Community Classes program and the Director's Lab program.
So I guess by the sounds of that, your goal is to incorporate community and theater. Combine the two.
Very much so, and to sort of a place to unite a lot of performing artists in the Rhode Island area.
Okay, before we see the scene, I have to ask you a question. Now, Perishable Theater describes itself: dedicated to a community of artists and audience, enriched, served by the performing arts. The Perishable Theater is a greenhouse for New York, a laboratory for experimentation, a meeting hall for collective celebration of connections between performer and audience, while Webster's Dictionary says perishable is liable to decay or go bad quickly. Now, where did the name Perishable come from?
It actually comes from a quote by Gordon Craig, who's an early 20th century drama critic and designer, who said that theater should be a celebration of youth, an experience and quantity as perishable and ephemeral as the theatrical experience itself. In other words, something to be cherished, something that is fleeting. So.
All right, and our time is fleeting, so why don't you take your set. Mark is in this next scene. Mark is a jeweler, and there's also a kidnapped woman on the train, and to start things off is going to be our own Paul Buxton, a general tonight.
Let me be frank for a moment. This jeweler I work for is a madman. When he came back from that private clinic in the mountains, his imagination was diseased. However, he is paying me. His plan: now that we've kidnapped Margot, we'll follow the postcards she receives from her thief in order to track him down. And then, using her as bait, we'll draw him into our figurative maw. We get train tickets. We head south. We cross over the border into Mexico. We race through the desert, its stark beauty interrupted by an occasional panorama of local businesses. Panchito's Tacos, Valdez Auto Repair. The jeweler is abstracted. Margot is resigned, or amused.
Olay!
She knows we're taking her to him, but she cannot imagine what this jeweler plans to do to her boyfriend once we've found him.
Tickets! May I get your tickets, please?
Why don't you ask the engineers and the locomotive for their tickets?
Because they're driving the train, you idiot!
So are we!
All right! Forget about it.
This is a quick study.
Examine the final postcard for clues. Seems to be a souvenir card for some seedy roadside attraction. We race on towards a posh hotel outside Mexico City, where the jeweler has engaged a number of ballrooms to bait our trap.
All right, Paul, good job. I take it that we're going to enjoy a long train line for those who come to see this play.
Yeah, it's trains.
Paul, we're curious. You're a movie critic for us at Channel 6, and you're acting here. What is your career? How do you describe yourself?
Well, primarily as a critic and actor. I do both. I've been acting for about 4 or 5 years in Providence at Trinity, here at Perishable, and with my own children's theater.
All right, Paul. Good to see you again. We'll see you both at 6 and here at the theater. And if you want to come by the plays Thursday through Sundays until March 17th, and Thursday is pay your own price night. So come on down. Pam, back to you.
All right, Tim, you and I get to review Paul's performance, okay? We'll do that soon. Up next on 6 Live, is there still enough snow to make a trip to the slopes worthwhile? Well, Tim is going to be back and he'll have his ski report for us.